being embedded in this part of Japanese culture seemed like a really fantastic opportunity, and one that will provide the kind of knowledge that you can't get from books.
The residency is an incredible opportunity put forward by British Council in partnership with伊勢City, which is the city where the most venerated Shinto shrine in the whole world is. And it's given a group of artists from a variety of disciplines across the UK the opportunity to come and spend 2 weeks really immersed in Shinto culture.
When I approached the residency and the thoughts of being immersed into a different culture, my first footing would be to think about shared similarities between Japanese society and culture and society in the UK. And when we arrived, it was an immediate sense of wonder.
In Japanese music specifically, there's a very different approach to time, but I really wanted to try and find out how a different approach to time might affect the compositions I make. Alongside that, there was this aspect of Shinto that seemed to speak about humans as being part of nature in a way that was quite different to the human-nature divide that we have in Western culture.
One of the things that I was most drawn to in my application was investigating the physical and the sensory components of worshipping at one of the Shinto shrines, and how people who visit have an experience of the divine and how they feel that through their senses.
It's been completely overwhelming. It's felt like just complete privilege the whole time, and you know, I'm constantly kind of feeling thankful for being in this situation, but it also gives you this kind of pressure, in a good sense, to really uncover all you can. And like in every situation I'm in, I find myself wanting to like look at everything, every little detail.
Sometimes as an artist, you know, you can kind of get very insular, and it is tough to kind of, you know, to kind of broaden out your thinking and your experience. But often that's so powerful because it really brings your work on.
Opportunities like this are really important, primarily for dialogue and exchange actually. So one of the things for me is I can read about these things, I can also come here on my own and listen to things, but actually having the opportunity to speak to people and get an understanding of what it means to people who actually live here.
International opportunities are definitely important for artists. There's always the benefit of being able to look again at your own culture or your own local grounding from a slightly different perspective.
People are so generous in wanting to tell you things, even if you can't communicate directly. People want to show you things because they want to communicate the things that they think are unique.
My personal challenge to myself is to communicate to the dancers and musicians and set designers I work with all of the magnificent and wonderful experiences I've had here.
It's been incredibly beautiful, amazing to see such tradition in operation, but also such kind of forward future thinking.
Actually, after a while, more that you start to kind of experience just being here, and certainly the ritual that happened last night in terms of the harvest and welcoming the rice, I think it became something so powerful about a notion of something that's not always about the visible or the verbal, but it's always about something that's not necessarily said.
Being immersed in the culture here has had some like really satisfying mismatches, especially in moments when we've been talking about concepts that don't have direct translations or that you kind of get through experience. There really just is nothing like immersion for learning anything, and this has been kind of constant learning for 2 weeks.